Our next speaker is Tom Flaherty of NorthstarMLS. Builders in the industry are not as familiar with different categories that MLS offers or provides for our real estate community. But now more than ever, do we find that realtors need us more than ever with the lack of inventory that's on the market today. So Tom is going to share with us the information as far as how realtors can find green homes on the MLS or help their buyers find green homes on MLS, and also ways that we can work with our real estate community or realtors representing us to improve our listings so that people can find us.
My name is Tom Flaherty. I'm Director of Marketing and Communications with NorthstarMLS. When they first asked me to do this several months ago to do this presentation, and it was, let's talk about how we realtors can find energy efficient homes on the MLS for their clients. And as I was preparing my presentation, I realized it's actually kind of difficult. It's fairly limited on what they can find, and the inventory isn't really great. So for my presentation, I'm going to show you what we do have in the MLS and ways that they can find information, and then also talk about how we can make that situation better. What can we do to make the data richer, to work on education and other things that I think will help. So again, to start off, I thought it would be helpful to make sure we're all on the same page as far as what is the multiple listing service, the MLS. So we are a broker listing cooperative with offers of compensation. So we have, we're accessed by realtors and appraisers, must be a member of the National Association of Realtors. We currently have over 20,000 subscribers. So again, the brokers and their agents join the MLS. They put all their listings that they have for sale on the MLS for their competitors to see with that offer of compensation if they bring in the buyer. Our main coverage area is Minnesota and extreme western Wisconsin. And we currently have over 26,000 active listings listed for sale in the MLS. And when we look at over the past year, over 115,000 listings have sold on NorthstarMLS. And we power client portals and third-party websites. So sometimes, particularly with consumers, they get a little confused. Maybe they're on edinarealty.com or they're on Zillow.com. They're not actually in the MLS. However, those websites do receive a data feed from us so that they're getting, MLS is always the source of the most up-to-date and accurate information. So they're getting a subset of that MLS on those sites. So what can we do to search? What can agents do to search for energy efficient homes on the MLS? So several years back, we actually partnered with Housing First Minnesota to put together a task force. What kind of improvements can we make to NorthstarMLS? It was on a number of things related to new construction, but part of that was energy efficiency as well. And two things that came out of that were the HERS score and green certification as sort of what are the things that would be most impactful. So we do actually have a field on the MLS now for HERS score. So if you have a HERS score for any new construction you're selling, you can enter that in. We do require that HERS score report be uploaded as a supplement. And that's helpful both for agents and potential buyers to be able to get more information on that HERS score and what exactly that means. Secondly, we have a green certification field. This used to be a simple yes/no field. We were asked to change that to have three options: tested, pending, or certified, so that you can indicate at which stage you're at on that. And it doesn't have to be HERS score in that case. If there's some other type of green certification that you have or that you're working on, that can be included as well. And like the HERS score, we ask that you upload a supplement describing what that is. Free-form remarks. This is really helpful. We have both agent remarks that are for agent view only and public remarks that potential buyers can see. And this is just really helpful for just any free-form description, anything you want to talk about with regards to energy efficient that we may not have a specific field in the MLS for. And then we have a few other fields around the MLS that are energy efficient related. I just gave a few examples here, such as solar solar fuel, geothermal heating and air conditioning, tankless water heater. So I wanted to see what kind of search results I would get actually searching these fields. And so I focused on actual completed new construction. And we have just under 5,000 of those that are either active or have sold on NorthstarMLS within last year. Incidentally, we feel like we have a really great relationship with builders in the Minnesota area, and we really do have good inventory of new construction. I know when we talk with a lot of other MLSs around the country, they're always surprised that we actually have really good participation in our MLS, so we appreciate that. Her score, I searched again this active and sold within the past year, 131 new constructions, or just over 2.5% actually input a her score. So obviously that's pretty low. We'd love to see that improve. Again, kind of working towards putting that information out there, educating people. I think what might happen here is, obviously when you have a new construction, you have to order the test. It may take some time to get the test done, get the test results back. And we're in such a hot seller's market right now, maybe the home sells before you even get that her score finalized. But just encourage, if you do have that her score, to get that into the system. Green certification, we have 263 listings, or just over 5%, that have indicated one of those 3 levels of green certification testing. Solar energy, I actually only found 4 for new construction. If I search all homes in the MLS, there were 103. The remarks section. So I searched just the phrase energy efficient in the remarks section. I found 67 new constructions and 861 homes across the MLS that had the phrase energy efficient in the remarks. When I looked at that a little closer, a lot of it was in regards to windows, Energy Star appliances, kind of a variety of different things in there. But again, it just gives you some free form space to talk about things that there might not be a field for. Tankless water heater, I found 297 of them, 1,353 across all homes. One of the things I had in the previous slide, in addition to remarks, was supplements and photo descriptions. Those are things you can actually search on the MLS, but it's something you can use to further describe the energy features on a home. So let's say you have a photo of the kitchen, you can put in what we call a caption or a description for that photo. So maybe you want to talk about the appliances being energy efficient, or that water filter, any energy efficient lighting or plumbing, whatever you want to put in there. Additionally, supplements, that's any PDF document you can upload to the listing to talk more about energy efficiency, whether it's that her score, what Todd was talking about, just all of the different things that you can use to communicate the value. Maybe it's energy efficient windows. One of the things that we did with working with Housing First Minnesota is you can do things like list the builder's name. You can say that it's Pella Windows. You can use that brand name. MLS in general is a little careful with marketing, but you can say that they're Pella Windows. You cannot say they are Pella Windows, the best window money can buy, because that gets into marketing. But there is some latitude to be able to put that information in there. So again, what we're seeing there is kind of low numbers. We'd like to see that improve, be able to help agents better find homes that have good energy sustainability. So there's really 3 areas that we're looking at here that we think would help to improve. Data availability, where can we get more data about energy efficiency, sustainability? Green appraisals. Todd was talking a little bit about this towards the end of his presentation. Appraisers who are actually certified to do green appraisals. It's great, things for the environment, things we can do with energy efficiency homes. But as Todd talked about some too, people want to know the bottom line, the value. What is the value that's being added? Whether it's the value of the home or costs that I'm going to save by lower energy consumption. And finally, and this is a big one, and Todd alluded to quite a bit to this as well, agent education. One of the things that we've really stressed with the MLS is that it's not enough to put just a whole laundry list of data fields. that have to do with sustainability on the MLS. I've seen a lot of other MLSs around the country do that, and they put them in there and wipe their hands, okay, we're done, but they miss that agent education piece. So here they have those pages of fields that nobody uses because nobody understands them or how to properly use them. So I want to talk a little bit about each of these individually. Data availability, where can we find or get data on the energy efficiency, sustainability of the home? Of course, better use of the existing MLS fields that I just went through. If you have a HERS score or green certification, really helpful to put that information in the MLS because when we look at our various committees look at possibly adding additional fields in the future, that's one of the things they may look at. Well, we're not getting much use of the HERS score or green certifications, so what makes us think we're going to get more use of these adding additional fields? The Center for Energy and Environment, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this, funded primarily by Xcel Energy, mandated by the state. These are the ones that are doing those required Minneapolis energy audits now with the blowers and giving a score. Also offering to any homeowner there through their home energy squad an audit to get more information. So how can we possibly get this information into the MLS, make it accessible, particularly with the home energy squad audits? That's really something that the consumer would have to give permission to release that information. So what can we do with working with them that maybe there's a point after when they do the audit that they can sign to release that information, and what would be the benefits of doing that? Another organization we've been looking at that we met with recently is called Earth Advantage. And one of their purposes is linking the availability of green home data to the residential real estate market. Again, needing that one source of data, because if we're to get this information about green home sustainability into the MLS, it's going to be a lot easier to do that if we have one central source of data for that, even if we can have a data feed. So when we talked to Earth Advantage, one thing that they felt that they could probably, the first things that they could get for us for our market area would be a database of those HERS scores. So particularly now as these new constructions have HERS scores and they sell, and maybe at the point they get resold, is that agent going to know anything about the HERS score or what it is? Well, if there's a database they can go to see where that information is, that could be helpful. Connecting Earth Advantage with Center for Energy and the Environment, can we share those Minneapolis energy audit scores so that's part of the database? So just a really starting point, and then kind of just growing it from there. What other kind of information is available that we could put in the database? I have energy costs there with a question mark, just because, for example, what's available from Xcel Energy as far as the energy costs, that's something, again, that requires a consumer permission. And of course, it's different just because what one owner may have for energy costs, somebody else, it may be very different depending on how they use the home. But it's still helpful information we have. And is that something we might eventually be able to tap into? Some of you may have some other ideas about what is out there available and how we might be able to consolidate into an organization like this. Minnesota Association of Realtors, so that is our state association. They have just started looking at and talking about, is there one statewide energy audit standard that should be adopted? I'm told that the only state in the United States so far that has done that is Oregon. And so if we could do that, we would possibly lead that effort across the United States. But again, it's sort of helping with realtors and consumers. I remember probably at least 10 years ago when we first started hearing about this, there were so many different standards out there, and it was just hard to make sense of them all. But if there's one state central standard that everybody can understand, whether it's HERS or something else, that just really helps the market and get everybody on the same page. Green appraisals, and this is a formal certification an appraiser can get where they can kind of a little bit about Todd talked about what they can do to really assign a value based on energy efficient features. green appraisal form that Earth Advantage eventually would like to be able to auto-populate them to make that process easier, and just showing the value of energy efficient improvements. I'm told about a year ago, there were only 3 appraisers in Minnesota that had this certification, and it's more in the about 5 to 8 now, but something we'd like to see improve. Agent education, consumer awareness and demand. Once that is built and they come to their agents, hey, they're looking for these things, you can bet the agent's going to get on board with it. Courses, especially from the associations for continuing education credits. Many of you I know are getting credits for this, so you kind of understand how important that process is. Just again, getting more data, seeing the value of it. Simplification, I talked a little bit about that too, and Todd did as well. He was talking about, he'll be talking about all of the getting really techy with them, but agents can understand, for example, controlling airflow, controlling water vapor, controlling temperature and energy, kind of putting it at a level where they're going to get it and want to be able to work with it. Using the MLS data fields already available, as we've talked about. And this is something I just added, kind of obvious as Todd was talking. Of course, what can you as the builder provide that sell high performance, whether it's collateral materials or anything else that you can kind of simplify that, bring it down to level that everybody can see all the benefits of that. And again, you have that option to put that on the MLS as a supplement. NorthstarMLS role, we have our board of directors, executive committee, that we're always open to new ideas. What kind of things can we do to improve, get more data, educate agents. Our agent advisory committee is a representative group of agents that meets quarterly. I know we have some people on there that are very interested in energy sustainability as well, so we bring new ideas to them. Our relationship with you, builder community relationships, we value that highly. We're always interested in hearing your ideas and feedback. Real estate standards organization, this is a national effort to standardize data fields across the entire listing, including green fields. So we're going to be looking at those. And then finally, just to wrap up here, I just want to thank you all, and also thank you to Todd Shipman, who some of you may know. Todd is a realtor with Lake Sotheby's International. He's also a longtime NorthstarMLS board member, and he is starting his second term as our board chair this coming March. He's incoming chair of National Association of Realtors Sustainability Advisory Group. And I can tell you, Todd is extremely passionate about this subject. He's a strong advocate for energy efficiency, sustainability in the real estate market. I just got an email from him this morning that he wants to eventually be pulling together all the stakeholders in this space to talk more about these kind of ideas and things that we can do. So again, there's a lot of potential here. And with somebody like Todd in leadership, I think that's something we will for sure be pursuing. I just would like to give you my contact information. If you have any questions for me or comments or ideas, just feel free to email me anytime. Todd also gave me permission to give his email address right here. He loves talking about this subject. And as I said, he's going to be in a real true leadership position. And it is somebody that really wants to make some things happen. So maybe he's somebody you want to connect with or have some ideas. Feel free to reach out to him as well. Thank you very much.